So Ben Carson, Secretary Ben Carson, who is the chairman of HUD, the Secretary of HUD, Housing and Urban Development. HUD is in charge of the of public housing. They provide all sorts of. Well, here, let me read what they do. Okay, they do housing. In fact, you know what? Go to this page here so that everybody can see this. Matt, I'll send you the link. This is the HUD page. Here it is. What we do. And in the first column of HUD.gov, what we do is housing. You'll see that there. It's on the left. And right in there is avoiding foreclosure. That's the first thing. It's really the first thing in the first part of what HUD does there, according to them. Buying a home, home improvements, homes for sale, HUD homes, senior citizens, homelessness, vets, and then fairness. They uphold housing law and anti-discrimination law, fair lending, housing discrimination, disabled persons, rental assistance. They provide voucher programs, Section 8 programs, searching for an apartment. Then they go down to there's a sustainability programs, research, and working with HUD.
Yeah, very
but let's just, all right, so HUD, what we do, housing, avoiding foreclosure, the first thing. So now this was at the what hearing was this that Porter's at? Talking to a HUD secretary. Not sure what the hearing is, but it's a congressional subcommittee. And Katie Porter, who is a congresswoman elected in this last class from California. She worked very closely with the California Attorney General's office in dealing with foreclosures and real estate in the wake of the financial crisis in 2008. She is a protege of Elizabeth Warren's, actually took her class in Harvard, I believe, back in the day. And so she's questioning HUD Secretary, again, Housing Urban Development Secretary Ben Carson, who's been on the job now for about 2.5 years. So, you know, he came in, steep learning curve, but he's been on the job for 2.5 years.
Settling in.
Okay, go ahead.
As you look it up, I'd also like you to get back to me, if you don't mind, to explain the disparity in REO rates. Do you know what an REO is?
An Oreo?
No, not an Oreo. An REO. REO.
Real estate?
What's the O stand for?
Organization?
Owned. Real estate owned. That's what happens when a property goes to foreclosure. We call it an REO. Mm-hmm. And FHA loans have much higher REOs. That is, they go to foreclosure rather than to loss mitigation or to non-foreclosure alternatives like short sales than comparable loans at the GSEs. So I'd like to know why we're having more foreclosures that end in people losing their homes with stains to their credit and disruption to their communities and their neighborhoods at FHA than we are at the GSEs.
Owned is right.
Now, okay, so let me just tell you what it is and why it is so stunning that Ben Carson thought, A, Katie Porter was talking about a cookie, and then when she said, no, not a cookie, REO, he was smart enough to go like, well, I am chairman of HUD.
Wait, is there a cookie around?
There's homes, and of course we deal with a lot of what's going on in terms of loans and foreclosure. In fact, that is under the what we do. That is the number one thing that we deal with, foreclosures. Real estate, I got that right. Obviously organization. But no, it's real estate owned, which when a property goes into foreclosure, if it is not dispensed, if it doesn't come out of foreclosure, if it's not sold as a short sale, in other words, basically less than it's worth, or if the bank is not able to sell it, the bank ends up owning it, or could be also theoretically a government agency. She was wondering why it is that loans that come from the Federal Housing Authority, as opposed to the GSEs, which would be Fannie or Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac.
Communism.
Why is it that the homes from the Federal Housing Authority go into foreclosure and are not resolved in some way, so that the homeowners just lose their? There's something going on that is creating this disparity. In other words, maybe the FHA is not functioning well with the agenda of making sure that these foreclosed homes either at least, bring some return to its inhabitants or keep the people in their homes, give them foreclosure relief.
Sam, you seem really perturbed by this. Would you like an Oreo?
But the idea that we have a secretary of HUD who doesn't know what that term is.
I'll tell you what I do know. I know how to select a $31,000 dining set for my office and look fly as hell.
Stunning.
Let me explain. Look.
This isn't what's going on with our government now.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Boy Scout, Jew Scout, Sam. Let me explain something to you.
Jew Scout?
Yes, I said because it's like a Boy Scout except with your Jewish characteristics. So let me explain something. When I was in college, I was trying to study for an exam, and I fell asleep, and I wasn't prepared, and I was scared that I would not pass that exam. And then I had a dream where God gave me the answers to all of the questions on my test so I could pass with an A. Now, if it was important for me to know what an EO was or an IO or whatever else that horrible mean woman was talking about, don't you think it would have been revealed to me in a dream? I'm going to ask you to use a little bit of logic. I'm interested in talking about ideas.
You're talking much faster than actually.
I'm talking about what, you want a cookie?
So you can say that he's not doing his job here, but his job isn't what it says on the website. The job that he's been hired to do is to dismantle whatever is left of public housing assistance in this country, and he's doing it very well.
Wait a
I don't
second.
even think that he's tasked with doing that. I think it's just like if we put this guy at the head of this department, it's all going to collapse,
Yeah,
and that's basically what's happening.
The same outcome, right?
Yes,
What we're doing is handing people copies of The Secret, and they can picture the home that they truly desire.
That's just stunning.
So
is
that
there more
instead
from
of
this
saying
hearing? Okay.
It's more from my hearing where other people were all